Hey guys, welcome to the 7 to 100 podcast. I'm your host, Tim Warren. I am joined by Danielle Fire, who is a snake trainer on the weekends and expert in snake charming using flutes. Paul DeMott, who is our Chief Technology Officer and expert underwater rock climber. Paul and Danielle, good to see you guys again this morning.
Yeah, good to see you.
All right, so all jokes aside, I know we got a short one today. We'll kind of keep it short and sweet. But why don't we talk sales and ads? So Paul, why don't we start with you? I was thinking this morning. So one thing I try to do in the mornings is I've got like a lake at my house. And so I walk around the lake and I drink coffee and I think about the business and just try to process through stuff like before the day's work has begun, right? I think it's a really good practice. And here's what kind of stood out to me. I'm starting to work with the sales team on closing, and I'm realizing like that's a really, really important thing we need to be doing. Like that's probably where we're losing most of our revenue is not being really good at closing, right? And like that part's really crucial. And actually, the things we do to avoid closing. Interesting thing is this is a new thing I've realized. A lot of salespeople, myself included, our reps, other teams' reps, when they get close to the sale, they'll start to say things like, "Hey, Paul, do you have any other questions?" Right? You actually don't want to do that. That's like proposing to your girlfriend and being like, "Hey, wait, before you say yes, do you have any concerns? Any things you're more worried about? Should I tell you all my deepest secrets?" And like, stop, just don't say anything. Just show the ring and shut up, right? Let her buy, right? And we ask these things like, "Do you have any more questions?" "No, I don't. We don't want to. Questions are going to be objections, right? Just land the plane, right?" So it's like really important stuff. But here was what I thought about this morning. The closing is really key. But I'm thinking about our ads. I had two people book meetings with me yesterday personally, and then we have with the team. And one of them didn't show, and then the other one did show. But they're a pretty small company, right? They're like a window tinting company in Fresno. Really nice people. But it's just like they're too small for Helium to manage, like to help with. They're below our minimums. So I was thinking we're getting
and are they
ad leads.
Just really quick too, are those noble deals or are they not noble deals usually?
This one wasn't, because they're just looking for like, how do I get leads as fast as possible? And I said, you probably need to do ads, map ads and Google ads. So I didn't even recommend SEO for them. So I didn't go down the noble route because they didn't like from just what they were expecting, their site, like their ability to use the tech.
Yeah, not a good solution.
Right fit. Yep. Yeah, I didn't feel like the right solution. It felt much more like they would be a good referral for Princeton, which is what I did. I referred them over to Princeton. So just Paul, I wanted to say this. I'm noticing as we're seeing the leads come through, where there's more and more and more like low quality leads and less of the high quality leads. So if we could make one change, if we could take the amount of leads we're getting and like 15 or 20 or 30 or 40% of them were high quality leads, we would be crushing it.
Yep.
So what do you think we can do to get more of the leads to be higher quality, like more ICP and less of clients we don't serve?
Yeah, so this is the same thought I've had, because I think hearing you say that you had 2 no-shows, and then you've also had some meetings where it's just like they weren't a good fit. Mm-hmm. I'm also seeing a lot of HubSpot leads where people are specifically marking under $500 as their budget, which is like the worst thing that they can select. So
it's so true.
So I've been thinking about the same thing and concerned about the same thing, because I've also like, if I go to our leads dashboard, our number of actual leads, conversions are like skyrocketing, but leads are lower. And I would say we're getting a fair bit every day of like people in the budget range of 1,000 to 3,500, which isn't bad. It's just not like the ideal lead. So I'm thinking about the same thing. So one thing, this is first like from an outside standpoint, so outside of the ads, because I think it's a little bit multifaceted. So I want to make sure we have like a really good feedback loop so that I know the moment we need to make like significant changes on lead quality. And so I think hearing from you about your meetings, it's like that's a really good data point. So number one, I think today Danielle and I need to like close the gap on all these meeting outcomes, because we don't really hear from the reps if there's like no shows, if they're not interested in being sold anything, if they're not. So I think we need to get those settings in ASAP, because just a realization I've had is that if we don't have that data, we could go like 3 or 4 weeks before we realize that none of those meetings are actually good. So what I've been looking at changing, and it's just a little bit of, I have to be a little bit cautious about the change, is I want to stop rewarding both Google and Facebook for anybody that says that they're under 500. So like
Yes.
not to count those. The danger is I don't want to, there's kind of like two things I'm trying to solve for. So one, I don't want to like decrease lead volume so much that like Facebook can't get out of the learning phase, or Google can't really learn, anything. Like just there's almost like an advantage to more signal is better, even if some of it's bad. But I'm also then on the opposite side trying to prevent us from getting trapped in like in a bad lead honeypot, which is maybe what's happening right now. It's like Google and Facebook are getting so many reward signals. Like these people are converting like crazy, but they're like terrible.
Right.
So I think that's number one thing that like really just looking at this week. Let me share my screen actually, because I think this like.
So Paul, I was wondering, what if we fed back that data to saying we don't want these, but then we upped budgets at the same time?
Yeah, that's I think a potential solution. I think to what we were talking about yesterday with the analogy of the net, like if we get a bigger net, we'll get more of good and obviously more of bad, because it's just a larger population of small fish. But yeah, you can see like look at like our leads 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 versus like the previous week 1 1 1 1 1 1 1, and then we even look here 3 2 2 3 3. So I think maybe right now we could be stuck in.
For those of you listening or watching, we have our data set up to where conversions are someone who fills out a form, like from Facebook or from Google. They come in, they fill out a form. A lead is when they fill out the form and they actually select a budget range that we serve. So Helium serves clients that spend $3,000 a month and above. That's where we focus. Under 3,000, like they're not our client base. And so if someone comes in and fills out saying a $500 budget, they're a conversion, but not a lead. So just in case. Just wanted to find that for users who are watching.
Yeah. So, I think I think today it's worthwhile to like just stop sending these like signals back for the $500 leads. I'm okay with the combination of upping budget and doing that. We probably shouldn't up budget too much, because it's going to like really interfere the learning environment. Instead of probably like the algorithm's going to have to start searching new spaces to find converters. But I think we could do like a little bit of a budget increase plus cut those out today.
What is Paul, so I guess what's the worst thing that could happen if we feed the bad leads back and say we don't want these, which I think there's no downside to doing that. What's the worst that could happen? Are you afraid that we get fewer conversions and leads overall, like everything just goes way down? Is that what you're worried about?
But yeah, I mean that will happen no matter what. The question is whether it will rebound and come back to where we want. The thing I'm concerned about is like more signals usually is better, even if you're getting a mixture of good and bad. And so when you cut out the vast majority of signals, which happen to be bad right now, it could starve the algorithm. But I also like don't really even know if we like, to me, I don't know if we even want the bad ones. The bad ones might waste everybody's time anyway.
I think
take away from good ones. So I think it might be worth it, even if we like see leads drop significantly over the next like couple days. That also is less time that the team has to, reach out to people and stuff as well.
Yeah, that's true.
That was even we were talking to Nicole about like how many setters do we need? How much right? We don't need more setters if we don't actually have enough good leads and like the whole thing, right? So it affects a lot of stuff and actually costs us more money. Paul, have you already added in conversion values? So best, good, not bad, bad. Those already so bad's already like a way lower conversion value than best, right?
Oh yeah. But we can't right now. There's not enough data of best and good to like let the algorithm learn. Like the signal is too sparse right now. Like if you look like the last 35, 40-ish days, like there's not enough best for Facebook or Google to uncover a pattern. Like on Facebook, you need about 30 of these and on Doodle you need about 32. So we can use the values for manual decision making. The other thing I wanted to look at is like mobile versus desktop, because it could be like there could be some trends where somebody that is a legitimate business is way more likely during work hours to be doing a search on their computer versus the leads that come in at night and someone's on their phone. So we might be able to put some bid modifiers on to like try to encourage desktop traffic over mobile traffic for Doodle. That is, I don't think I would do that on Facebook, because I think Facebook, like almost nobody is on their desktop.
Yeah, I couldn't tell you the last time I opened. Well, I guess I'm doing ad stuff.
Yeah, so I kind of think I think today maybe we cut out, we start telling Google and Facebook no more bad. And then I don't think we have enough signal yet of good or best to use that. So it's basically we're only giving signal for not bad, good, and best. But then I think, so Danielle and I did launch a bunch of new statics yesterday that are, I think, more targeted at the ICP, but their purpose is to like really show like reviews and case studies and stuff. And like, actually what's interesting is this is the number one ad right now. Yeah. So I think getting these live too, but I think the question we always have to ask, like if we go back to the, let's see, what do I have? Yeah. If I go back to this like analysis, is that the agency failing concept is working for us. And it's like, if we can make second and third gen versions of that, but like ask ourselves the question, like, how can we make this more exclusive to the right audience and not the wrong audience? That's like probably where we could see some wins on the creative side. So I think number one, it's the algorithm. Number two, it's the creative side. It's like an infinite game. Like we're never gonna be able to stop making creative and making it more in line with what we want. But I think that could be a good place for us.
Yeah. So to give some more insight, then the tint shop in Fresno I talked to yesterday. So they leads have been down for a little while. Like they've not been doing digital. Their leads have been like slowly dropping, phone calls dropping. They hired a guy to redo their website, do their SEO. His mom died. So then he like took time off work, put it on pause. Stuff's just not happening. So while that's a rough situation for him and for them, just stuff's not happening still though, right? So they just said, what do we need to do? I said, well, and so they said, hey, we saw your Facebook video. We really liked what you had to say. You seem like you're knowledgeable. Like we wanted to come talk to you. I'm like, okay, great. Yeah. So I tried to help add value as much as I could. The problem is like they need a new website. They're not doing any marketing today. They're doing nothing, right? So they don't have Facebook ads. They don't have Google ads. They don't have map ads. They don't have SEO, and they need a new website, right? But they're a small company without a lot of budget. So I think, Paul, like just to give some more like insight on it, is your agency failing and you're a marketing manager, right? That will have, that would have an effect there. Are you a $3 million company and this? So really what I think the issue is we need to make sure that we're not getting companies that are under 3 million in revenue without marketing budgets. They're not already doing marketing today. If like it's the first time they're ever doing marketing, we're probably not the right fit for them, right? Because we're not where you start usually. Like we're the next level. People want to go to the next level. So do you think it's the ad creative and copy, or is it stuff like Hormozy does where he's like, are you a agency doing over $1 million in revenue and you're struggling to scale? Boom, 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 boom. Like that's what he's doing on a lot of his stuff. Do we just need to, once again, put all that in the actual copy of the ads so that Andromeda
it's in the ads more often like than not, actually. Like it's in the ad copy. So I think there's like kind of two levers that I hear people talk about to help with this. So one is the Hormozy thing of like, are you, this, and this, like with this much revenue. So I do think that's one angle we should try to solve this with, is like getting more specific. Now it's funny because like we had that one home service video that was like, are you a home service company doing 3 million and more, have 100 reviews and whatnot? And then like the people that filled out the form were all like, we're not even in the home service.
Yeah, they were law firms.
We're not. No.
Yeah, I know. It was like, why is that?
Yeah. So what I have heard a lot of Facebook advertisers say is that instead of like the call out concept sometimes works, but it also sometimes like doesn't work because sometimes people find that annoying. Like they don't like being called out, or they just don't listen to that part of the video. So they like listen to like you go through Ahrefs data, but they like don't really remember what you said at the beginning about whether like the video is relevant for them. So the thing that I've heard is more effective is like, what are the pains that are exclusive that the whole video can be centered around to your ICP? So, take for example, a massive website migration. Like, let's say we did it. Let's just say we were talking about like, hey, do you have a site that's more than 1,000 pages and you need to rebuild it, but you're worried you're going to mess up your SEO? Well, the smaller people are not going to like, they're not going to relate to that pain. So I think the call you're talking about yesterday, for example, the pain that we're talking about in the agency failing video is still somewhat relevant to them. Like they lost their SEO guy that lived in the basement of his parents' house, and the results are now not good. And so they listened to that and they resonated with your message. And so it's like, what could we change about it that makes it so they don't resonate with it? They're like,
yes.
Are you getting over 10,000 leads a month and it just dropped to 9,000? Listen to our video of how to stop that from happening. They're like, wow, I'm not going to waste my time listening to this video and filling out a form.
We could do that. Yeah. The question is, will that actually work better, convert better, or like, will it just run less?
I'm not
often?
saying that's a good, saying that's a good idea. That is not like necessarily a good one, but more so like, what is the pain that we could talk about that like no small business person really experiences?
Yeah.
And we'll probably still get some of those people no matter what. But
what about multiple vendors or vendor fatigue? You've got someone doing your social, you've got someone doing your SEO, you've got someone else doing your creative. You're using various agencies and you're confused on, where this reporting goes and who's driving what, and all the reports look different. You could do something like that because generally a bigger agency is going to be able to afford having multiple vendors. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a cool idea.
I think another thing we could do alongside that one, Danielle, is maybe like the loss. You used to be spot one, but now you're not.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So that relates to people who like they've obviously spent money to win in the past and they're not winning anymore. Right. So we have clients like that who come to us where like they used to be spot one and now they're not, and they've lost it. And they're like, how do we get this back? And their current firm's not delivering anymore. Yeah. So it's like that appeals to people who have done it, have spent the money, have won, versus people who like, I don't do anything today. Right. And I don't do anything. Can you guys drive leads? And can we drive leads literally instantly? No. Right. Hey, I've never worked out before, but can I get a 6-pack in a week for this thing that I'm going to? No. Right. So yeah, it's not how it works. Okay. So I think let's definitely, because we don't want to waste budget. And right now, I would say a lot of the conversions coming through are just a total waste of money because they just aren't going to be able to buy from us. Most of them can't buy from us. The leads are good, but the conversions, like the conversions that aren't leads, are bad. So I would say, yeah, feeding that back to, I would say, Paul, let's feed the data back to Facebook and Google. The worst thing that can happen is our spend goes down. We spend less, but then we get less junk leads. The junk leads do have hidden costs of we pay for the ads, then the sales team tries to work them, then the setting team tries to work them. So then we have costs all along the way, versus it would be better to have fewer and have our team spend more time working on the really good opportunities and like adding value and doing more research and like building relationship, getting deals over the line that are good deals, versus trying to work all these lower quality ones. So I don't see a downside there, to be honest.
Okay. I'll make that change today because that will have the most dramatic impact on everything. The other angle that I didn't talk about that I think it's not something we should pull yet, but we could, is like there are tools that on the form have more conditional logic based off of what people select. So for example, let's say someone selects under $500, then we could send them to like more of a noble sequence or something like that.
That's what I was going to ask.
Yeah, so there's some form based things. There's also like more questions that we could ask on the form itself. We could ask some questions that then just I don't know, make people less likely to fill out the form at the very intro if it's not like a good fit for them. So then those people bounce and the algorithm starts learning quicker, like those guys aren't the right people. So we can use that. We can do some stuff via the form too. And then there's obviously the offer, but I think like I don't want to change. I think that right now it doesn't make sense to the offer is working well. It's a very viable offer. I think we worked on the other levers first.
Yeah, it's the free SEO audit that's not the problem, because I think that is a good offer for everybody. It just comes down to if people come that have good businesses and real money and real like all that stuff, and they come to us, that those are good opportunities to do free SEO audits. It's the same process. It's just when really, really small businesses come to us and want free SEO audits. I mean, one of the conversions we got was like an intern. He's like, "Oh, I'm an intern at this company," and it's like it's free, so why not, right? And it's like, all right, so I get it, but also it's like that's not what we're looking for.
One thing I wanted to do, if you guys have time, I know we're a little over, but like, do you guys want to watch the 2 videos that have gotten the most conversions and then see like, is there anything obvious about them that we could change?
Hey guys, Tim Warren here with Helium SEO. I'm the CEO here. I've been doing SEO for 14 years, and this video is about one question. Have you ever wondered, how much traffic does my site get from Google? What do I rank for? What's driving me leads? What's actually driving me sales? Does SEO even matter for my business? Like, is it even worth doing? And I hope to answer that here in the next 20 seconds. There's a cool tool here called Ahrefs. You can put your website in there, and it will tell you where you.
So just watching even that much, I don't think we're saying anything that's repelling the wrong. Like that's actually an intriguing question to anybody at the moment.
I that was my first idea, was like, that is cool, but that's basically for anybody who's like, I'd like to know how much site traffic my site gets, right? But the better, like bigger, better companies probably know how much traffic their site gets, but they have another issue. Like this one is you just got out of a meeting with your SEO company, meaning you're meeting with your SEO firm, you have an SEO firm, right? Results are not good, you're unhappy with how it's going, right? Versus the like.
And this one, by the way, was like the main driver earlier on when we were getting more leads. And the other one has been kind of like, as this one has fatigued, to the newer one that's generating leads. So maybe that's part of our problem here.
All right, so why don't it sounds like what we need to do next is this like agency failing, right? You have an agency and they're failing to drive result, right? They're not driving leads, they're not driving rankings, they're not driving sales, your ad costs are going up, your lead quality is down.
What if we said something too, like, are you paying like multiple thousands of dollars a month for SEO today? And you're not sure if it's working?
That's a good one.
So I'm going to have to jump. Danielle and Paul, can you guys get together and brainstorm the exact videos that I need to make next for this? I agree. I think we should. So here's a couple notes. If you guys can like put all this into our plan for ads. Number 1, we should come from the pain, not the pleasure, right? So do you have the pain of leads dropping, the pain of a bad agency, the pain of SEO dropping? Like we focus on their pain and we get to the pain right away. Like this one's like, hey, did you just come out of a bad meeting with your SEO company? They're like, I did, right? So let's focus on the pain. Number 2, let's talk about, you're spending thousands on SEO. You have an agency and you're investing thousands in ads and SEO, but insert problem. Leads are down, quality is down. You're getting a bunch of junk leads, right? Whatever, right? So then we insert pain and we test these different hooks or the different pains or like whatever. And we do a bunch of those. And then it's would you like a free audit to just see what we see as wrong, right? But then I like that, Paul. Then it's like you're spending thousands on SEO and paid. You have an agency doing this work for you, but it's not working. That would repel people who are like, I don't spend thousands. I don't have an agency. This is probably not for me, right?
Check this out, because I think we did just figure this out. So this is it right here. So this has become the main one that's been working to generate leads in the last couple of days. Look at 13 bad, 8 good. And that's that transparency video that we were watching earlier. It's this one here.
Yeah. Have you ever wondered?
Yeah. So that's kind of cool to see that. So like, So recently, agency failing one has actually been producing some bad also, but like maybe like the algorithm's like really going after the wrong people, and this is like steering it that way. So this one's already killed, so that one's paused. But maybe we kill this one today, and then we try to get like a replacement one in, and we're bringing some new statics in as well. But also, it's probably worthwhile for Danielle and I to look at the statics they're currently running, and then say like, are these really, doing well? So here's one that hasn't really produced anything good yet. This is a carousel one. So this doesn't have much in terms of repelling either.
Yeah. All right. I really like this angle of let's come at the angle of you have a firm and you have pain. You're spending thousands and it's not working. I also think there's one other angle we should try for meeting with yesterday. Their approach was they're like, we want to be the biggest. He's like, we want to be the King Kong. We want to be the very best, right? Another angle we could come from is, do you want your brand to be the biggest in your area, your city, your state, and you're not getting there, right? And you now know your agency's not going to get you there? Call me, right? Like some of that. So that could even appeal to the really
you could then
people who are really trying to grow.
If you did that one, you could be like, let me show you the proof, and you could just kind of like go through like Ahrefs accounts really quick. Like we made these guys number one, these guys number one, these guys number one, these guys number one. You just like rip off a bunch of clients. That would probably be pretty powerful. Like our thing is making people like kingpins in their market or something.
Love it.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm gonna have to jump here in a minute, but let's do this. So why don't we throw time on the calendar, right? For like later today or tomorrow, like as soon as we can. We need to create some new ad copy, and let's not just throw this out here. Like let's really think this through, because this stuff really matters. Mm-hmm. Let's improve our ads. And then one thing, Paul, that I've also heard we should be doing, like Hormozy said we should be doing, is like focusing on the first 3 seconds of the ad, like meticulously focusing on that. And then it's like you have the ad, and then we go back and it's like different hook, different angle, different hook, different close, different angle, different lighting. But like you do that, you get that same one, and then you just try tons of different variations of that same message to hit from different angles. But I actually really like this. I think that's smart, because I think if we're saying like, did you come out of a bad meeting with your SEO agency? Like I did. That assumes a lot of stuff. They're big enough to have an SEO firm. They're actually meeting with them. The SEO firm's been long enough. They're past the honeymoon phase, and now the results aren't good. And that actually includes a lot of important stuff. So I like that. I think the other ones, the curiosity videos, are bringing in more conversions, but it's people who don't get traffic. They don't actually know how much traffic their site gets. That's actually probably the wrong audience, now that I think about it.
Yeah, I think so. We add some videos that like really are like exclusive to our ICP, and then I think we'll update the statics as well to be the same thing. And then we'll just remove our worst performing ones right now and replace them today with these new ones. And then I'll change the algorithm today on both Google and Facebook to not count these under $500 a month leads.
Okay, sick. Let's do that, and then let's get together as soon as possible and plan this stuff out so that like I can create new ads.
Yeah, because I think too, like different
on the phone and whatever,
different backgrounds and stuff too would be good, because like you've got the one at the corner of your desk, but like I think even just because people might see multiple ads, it's like a change of environment. It's a huge deal. So maybe getting one in front of a whiteboard could be really powerful too.
Yeah. So yeah, tomorrow could be good. I can come in tomorrow and like, make sure that I've got time on the calendar tomorrow to do some of that. Could be really helpful.
You could also do one in front of the TV in the conference room where you've got Ahrefs pulled up on the TV, and it looks like you're presenting more so.
Pointing to it or something. That's a good idea.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah, I think we can test a bunch of different angles and like flows and whatever. Like that will be easy as soon as we have the actual like written down exactly what we want to do. Right. Cool. Let me show you guys this real quick before I go. So let's talk about sales stuff real quick. Let me just do entire screen. Okay, check this out. So can you guys see my screen?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So what I'm changing, Paul, let's just talk about sales really quickly. What I'm changing is two things. Everything is going to get written down now into a process. So it's all going to get written down from like literally step 1, step 2, step 3. So Hormozy says that if your process is not so good that you can give it to a employee, they can go through the exact process, the exact steps you tell them to do, and they get the exact result you get. If you don't have that, your playbook is not good enough, right? So that's what I'm shooting for here. So I want to get the playbook to be so specific to what I do that it really, literally, truly duplicates how I sell, right? So I'm starting that here. So Danielle, we're going to have to just continue to make this better. And I think where I could use your help is, analyzing my calls or having Claude analyze my calls and my meetings. And if I do it differently than this, like in actual practice, if mine is a little different than this, then we just need to change this to like really perfectly match the process. And then we just train on it. But basically what this has is when a lead comes in, what do you do? How do you outreach? What do you do? What do you say? What do you never say? What do you say instead? What do you do? What's the 4 phases of the discovery call? How do we open? The exact questions I want them to be asking. The budget checking I want them to be doing. Then the proposal, bam, famming, and proposal build, right? Fighting to get the decision makers. So a couple major changes I want to make for our team. Fight to get the decision maker in the room always, right? Don't just meet with the lower level team. Fight to get the decision maker in the room so that objection goes away, which is always going to be an objection that we get. We're always going to get the I got to talk to Bob, right? We'll get Bob in the room so that objection goes away. Then we're going to run the closer framework, which don't have time to go into right now, but it's clarify, label, overview past attempts, sell the vacation, explain away concerns, reinforce the decision to buy. Then this is the actual exact detail of how the proposal call should run from start to finish with every single detail, what you should say, when you should say it, what you should do, what you should show, all that. When to show the guarantees, what to do about the price. So it's literally a fully built out program of exactly do it this way every time. So we should be able to then put this into Claude, get the transcripts of reps calls into Claude, and then be able to literally see okay, are they doing this exactly the correct way? What the new process is going to be is very simple. On the proposal call, we're going to remind them of why they're here, make them relive the pain, label to get them to label themselves with the problem, right? If I say you have bad SEO, you're like, well, you're attacking me. If you say you have bad SEO, oh, good, okay, great. Now I know why you're here, right? Overviewing past attempts is something we I think don't do often enough. How long have you guys had this problem? What have you tried to do before? How many agencies have you bought from? How much money have you wasted on this?
Yeah, because as soon as if you don't know what they've tried before, you're really in danger of pitching them the same thing and them just being like, I don't want to go through this again.
Right, exactly. Why is this one going to be so different than what you've done in the past, right? Sell the vacation, right? Then we need to get better at go the SOW, show the guarantees, show the price, and don't talk. Let them talk. Don't discount. Don't start explaining. Just shut up and let them talk, right? First person to talk loses after the price is thrown out there, right? Then we just land the plane. So what I'm seeing from a decent amount of our calls is instead of landing the plane, reps want to ask more questions. They want to seek out objections, right? Versus asking closing questions is there any reason that you guys don't want to move forward today with Helium, right? That's a very direct question. And then they're like, well, no, they're concerned. Okay, great. Let's go ahead and get started. So I want to help our reps get better at asking direct questions. And then we're going to have a whole common questions and all the urgency and all the stuff. But what I want to basically do next with our reps is spend a lot of time training on process, but then a lot of time training on how to close an objection handle, but viewing objection handling as we're trying to get to a yes or a no. The objection is what's in the way of that, but the goal is to land the plane. So I think today, too often, it's hey, would you like to think about it? No, we don't want them to think about it. We want them to decide to buy, right? So how do we get you not to think about it and make the decision to move forward, right? That's what we're really shooting for. So we got to reframe this. We got to practice our objection handling. We got to practice being more direct and just asking for the business. Also saying things with conviction, we are going to win for you like no SEO firm has before. because we know more than any other SEO firm you've ever worked with, right? We have a better process. And so having statements of conviction that help people believe. So there's what I'm seeing, Paul, there's a lot we can improve in our sales process, like a ton. I see why our close ratio is 19% and not 40, is because we are not asking for the business and truly landing the plane when the emotion is high. And we're letting people leave and go think about it. And then they go and they think about it and they're not sure. And then they're not, and the job of sales rep is to help people make the decision and buy, right? So a lot of changes we're going to make there, improvements. I think it's going to be good. If you guys can be working on getting the ad quality better, that's going to make a big impact.
Mm-hmm. Totally agree. Yeah, I think if we get that piece solved, then we'll have the at bats. Because I think this month we could hit our number. Like if we get one more of these deals closed, like we're gonna be very close. But then my mind is already shifting to August, and we need to make sure we have enough good leads that the sales reps have chances to close. So I think we solve both these problems, and then we can have, because August is, we start from zero. So
we start from zero.
We closed a lot of good deals this month, so it's going well. But now we got to get August rolling. So
that's right.
Yep.
Hey guys, thanks for joining us today on the 7 to 100 podcast. If you are struggling with these same issues, like, man, we got to get leads, we got to get sales, feel free to reach out to us in the comments. I'll be happy to tell you the books that we're reading and the stuff that we're doing, the stuff we're learning. Be happy to even meet with you and help you, here, how do I do this and whatever. Happy to pass along the knowledge. So feel free to comment, engage, send us an email. We'll be happy to help. We'll see you guys on the next one.